Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to where you're at in the world. It's me, Viper Strike 95. Great to see you guys here today on this happy Wednesday afternoon here. And yes, we are about to finally get done with the Norway trip today. It has been too long since my last announcement on my Discord about the Norway. It was supposed to be on December 18th was when it was supposed to be done, but it's been almost 3 weeks since the last time I've done this. So guys, welcome. So we're back here at Echo November Victor Alpha, which is known as Variant Air Base. One of the more well, it's also one of the largest airports in all of Norway today. So we have a very exciting two flags we're doing today. We're going to be visiting quite a few interesting cities, including a very famous city in Trondheim. And of course, we're going to also visit the city of Sandefjord. So we're going to check out the city and check out some very scenic locations, with this obviously being Norway. So it's good to see you all guys in the chat. So let's go over the flight plan for today's trip. I got it right here, everyone. So we have the flight plans for today's trip here. So today we're going to visit Trondheim today. We're going to go take a 14.3 nautical mile direction to the city of Trondheim. And we're going to visit the city, but the main landmark we're going to be visiting is the famous Nidaros Cathedral, one of the most famous buildings in all of Norway, actually, dedicated to King Olaf. Then from there, we're going to fly up to 8,000 feet around that mark, if not more, clear through quite a few mountains, and then we have a really scenic airport landing at Echo November Sierra Golf at Hakkuasen Airport, right next to the beautiful fjords. It will be a very scenic landing. And finally, we'll go from there and head our way over to Sandefjord, a very beautiful, well-known resort town, one of the biggest resort towns in the country. And finally, to our final stop of our Norway journey, we're landing here at Torp, Echo November Tango Oscar. So that is it, guys. That is our trip across Norway. Yes, this good to see you, FD 1003. Good to see you, FD. Welcome. So yeah, we're about to end this Norway journey today. So we have our plane for today. I wanted to take this plane for quite a while on stream. I haven't taken this on stream for a while, but I think you guys should probably know the plane I'm going to take. It is one of the best bush planes you can get for the sim. One of the best planes overall you can buy in the sim. Yes, it is the Daher Kodiak. The Daher Kodiak 100 from the amazing folks at Simworks Studios. I mean, what's there to say about the Kodiak? It's just a fantastic turboprop soul plane. It was originally produced back in 2004, took its first flight, introduced in January 2008. Over 300 have been built. Think of this as like the baby Cessna Caravan. It's smaller, but it's even more capable. Powered by an absolute beast of a Pratt & Whitney PT6 turboprop, it can produce 550 horsepower of takeoff, cruise at a speed of 183 knots, and has a range of over 1,000 nautical miles. It's pretty crazy, and a service ceiling of 25,000 feet. And get this, it can take off under 1,000 feet. So this is the perfect kind of plane to take into Norway. It's the perfect plane to take in Norway. So when we look at the cockpit, this is going to be a 324, so I'm going to probably put the tanks. 85% would be good for the journey. Not too much. So you can definitely look, there's our co-pilot here. Now we could load this up with some cargo. And I think we are going to load up a bit of cargo. We are doing some cargo deliveries. So I'm going to go ahead and start loading this up. We're gonna. Maybe I'm gonna start lowering the capacity a little bit. Probably adjustments. Hey, Orestas, good to see you, my friend. Orestas, how you been? So yeah, we're taking the Dahar Kodiak. I'm just adjusting some of the weight. But yeah, we are flying the Kodiak with a bit of cargo today. We have quite a few bits of cargo loaded up into our Kodiak. Actually, probably go 50 pounds. So this Kodiak is an absolute beast of a plane. You can get this on Simworks Studio Studios website. And this also comes in a float version too. They just released it a couple weeks ago. So there is our cargo for today. This is the cargo version. There's also a passenger and summit versions. So let's go ahead and get this Cody started, shall we? So we already did our pre-flight instructions. They've already been complete. And now we turn on the master switch. Yeah. Avionics on. Parking brake set. We set the engine inlet to required. Set to normal, as it should. We put on the fuel selectors. On. And we do the firewall shelf. We just push this thing in. We usually do the power. Power lever idle. It's set to feather. Fuel condition, it's supposed to be cut off. Flap 0. Circuit breakers are all pushed. I'm going to turn off that. Cabin heat off. Torque limit. Autopilots. It's already, we've already done checks. Now we're gonna turn on the auxiliary fuel pump. That would be on standby. There we go. Alternators already on. Alternators on. As required, we're going to turn on the beacon light, strobe lights, nav lights. That's already been on. Avionics set. We're going to do that. Actually, emergency power level is normal. Power area is clear. We turn on the auxiliary fuel pump. Now we're going to turn on the ignition switch, which is right here. And we're going to go with the high start. We're going to go ahead and put this to high idle. Actually, it's low idle. Hey, and she's on. Beautiful. She's on, and the fuel is good. We turn off the ignition, and it is done. That's it. That's it, guys. Should be pretty easy. And that should be pretty good, guys. And that's how you start a Dahar. That's how you start the Cody. We're gonna go ahead and turn on enter. All right, we got the avionics suite done. Now, guys, we're gonna take off from runway 27. So we're gonna take off from 27. We're gonna first cruise this at around 2,000 feet initially. We're gonna go to, actually, yeah, 2,000 is gonna be our. We're actually gonna do 1,500 feet initially, and the original heading would be 259 degrees. Like I said, I haven't loaded in the flight plan, so we're falling through this heading. So where are we flying? We are flying, here's our route for today, Orestes. I also have it in the title as well. If you check the stream title, we're heading from, I'll join you later if you stream long enough. That would be cool, FD. But even if you can't join, it's still great to have you here, watching the stream. And since it is a little cold out here, I'm going to turn on the Python heat as well, or the Python heat. The heat should be nice and on. So I'm going to take off at trim, -22. You got to set the trim on this thing first. And we're up. And we're up in the air, guys. See, that's the beauty of the Cody. Very good takeoff lane as well. So we're going to go ahead and set the flight director heading mode. And we're going to go set the vertical speed. I'm going to reduce its power a little bit right here. I'm going to reduce the power a little bit. So I got my slideshow here today. Might go a little bigger. There we go. All right. So we're going to fly towards the city of Trondheim. Trondheim is one of the world's population municipality in Norway. At a population of 205,000 people, flies on the south shore of the Trondheim fjord. It was founded all the way back in 1997 as a trading post. No, I think I'm stalling. Oh god. Is it windy? No, I think it's the yaw on this plane. So I think it could also be a little bit of the wind. Let me check. No, it's the plane. It's the plane that got a little windy. Oh yeah, I know how much. Yeah, these are single engine products. But yeah, Trondheim is well known for its mild climate, even though for its northern latitude. Makes the summers and winters pretty moderate, often above freezing. But in 1997, it was founded as a trading post in the capital of Norway during the Viking Age until the year 1217. Then from here on, it's also the seat of the Archdiocese of Nidaros. And of course, it's famous for the site Nidaros Cathedral. It's home to the Norway's most successful football club, Rosenborg. And some notable people that live here. They include some pretty well-known people. But some notable people include Albert Angeli, Eden Bryton, and Frode Roming are famous people from Trondheim. And of course, you can't forget probably about one of the most famous landmarks in all of Norway, Nidaros Cathedral. This is Norway's most famous landmark in the city. This was built actually over the burial site of King Olaf II, who reigned Norway between 1015 and 1028. He became the patron saint of the nation, and is the traditional location for the consecration of new kings in Norway. This was actually built during a 230-year period from 1070 to 1300 when it was substantially completed. However, more work and renovation has actually continued since then. including a reconstruction that started back in 1869, and get this, was finally completed in 2001. This place is well known for its absolutely stunning architecture. It is, after all, a very well known church as well. It's got beautiful scenery. It's also got 2 organs. One was installed back in 1930. The other was built actually between 1738 and 1740 by Joachim Wagner, and it was restored back almost over 200 years later in 1993 and 1994. And it's still a very popular tourist attraction. And there was even a plot to allegedly bomb this thing, but thankfully this did not happen, thank God. It did not. This place is just too historic to see this thing just explode. So that would be where we're going to come up first. We're going to take some bit of pictures on for the Discord. So I do have the pictures. They're going to be in the Discord. So we're just going to go through here slowly so we can take some good pictures of the city and the cathedral. Go ahead and turn this thing a little to the left. Yeah, I do love the Kodiak. It is an amazing bush plane. If I recommend someone to get a single prop plane for the sim, I recommend people getting the Kodi. It is an absolutely brilliant plane to fly in the simulator. It's great. Yeah, this is Trondheim. The Trondheim's here. And I think we could... Cool, I'm not a big fan of Garmin, though. I run out of gauges. Yeah, but the unfortunate part, FD, is... They did not have a steam gauge version. I don't believe they had one. I can always check. No, I don't think the Kodiak ever had steam gauges, unfortunately. A little slower. I think we can see... I see the cathedral. Yeah, Trondheim is an absolutely beautiful city as well, very historic. See, this here is Nidaros Cathedral, guys. Here's a... So here is Nidaros Cathedral, guys. This is the picture of our cathedral. But it's an absolutely beautiful place. I'm going to go ahead and get you back to the cockpit and... Oh, I saved it. Yeah, Trondheim is definitely beautiful. I definitely recommend you guys checking out the city. It's definitely a very nice place. While we circle around, I'm going to go ahead and set the altitude for 8,000 feet. we're going to actually climb up quite a bit. Yeah, 8,000 feet should be. Is 211. At this. And the heading. And we're going to go ahead and climb up. And we're going to climb to 8,000 feet, which is perfectly doable in the Cody. It has really good performance, so it should easily climb up to the 8,000 feet. So yeah, guys, it's great to be here back. I'm glad to finally get put the series to an end today. I mean, I'm going to be very happy I get to finally put it into the series. I mean, it took too long to finally reach the end of it. But it's at least good to wrap up this amazing journey in Norway. It's an absolutely stunning place. So, yeah. It's good to be back. So for some flight sim news, there's a couple of flight sim things I want to talk about for the news. There's a couple of big ones that I think are really interesting that I'm very excited for. So for one, on msfaddons.com, Sim Solutions, the guys who they're actually working on their own Diamond DA20. There's already one in the sim, but he's going to come out with a P-Ware version of the DA20 Katana. Of the DA20, which is going to be a really cool little plane. Hello, Ewald. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. We're going to wrap up the Norway series today. We're heading towards Sognedal. So we're just going to climb up because this Kodiak is a beast when it comes to climbing. But yeah, the Diamond DA20 is going to be a really cool little plane to add into the sim. Then here's a really cool one. So you know Bluebird Simulations, they're currently making a 757. Well, they just announced they're coming out with the 767, the Boeing 767, which is absolutely awesome because I've actually been inside of a 767 in real life. I visited the Sphere of Delta in the Delta Flight Museum, so I got to see a Boeing 767 from the inside. So it would be really, really cool to see the 767, which I think is a really good choice for them. I mean, technically the 767 is the bigger brother of the 75. It's the wide-body version. And apparently they got lots of experienced people to do it, so I am excited. If the 757 ends up being amazing, then the 76 is going to be actually awesome. I can't wait for it. Yeah, Simware Studios PC-12. Oh yeah, they got some new information on that. That looks really good. And yes, I'm waiting for the Dash 7 to come out. And then Flying Iron Simulations. The guys who made a lot of planes, they just released their first image of the Messerschmitt 109. Oh, we finally get an Axis fighter from the Axis, which is going to be really, really cool to finally have an Axis plane in the simulation as well. Oh, that Messerschmitt looks so good. And you guys know, Flying Iron Simulations, they put a lot of work into quality. Their Spitfires is a blast to fly. I really want to get the F6F in P-30A as well. I'm waiting for the right time to get them. But yeah, I'm very excited for the Messerschmitt. I think that could be a really good buy. And then Power Experience. Well, they're going to come out with a new study level plane as well. And they're going to bring in their first airplane. And it's actually a STOL plane. It's a MAL M7. Now, if you guys have probably never heard of a MAL M7, basically it's a STOL. It looks very similar to a Cub, but it's much beefier. And the MALs are ridiculous STOL planes. They may not go fast, but that's not the point of a STOL. The MAL, yeah, there's a lot of commonality between the 7.5 and 7.6. Absolutely. That's why they were built so similarly. there's a lot of similarities. But speaking of the mall, the high performance MX Stall B, that thing could take off at 300 feet, 15,000 foot altitude, and can cruise up to 120 knots at 75% power and optimal altitude, which is pretty cool. But it's great to see that we're getting another study level bush plane. And I mean, and it's going to come out, get this, in February. So this thing's going to be out sometime in February, which is going to be really cool. So yeah, very excited for I'm very happy that we're getting another study level bush plane. I mean, we got the kit box from Parallel 42. We have the Gottfried's Vilga. And now we're going to get on the mall, which is going to be great. So I'm very excited to see what they can do with the mall. So yeah, we're at 8,000 feet. We are cruising around 100. I'm going to reduce the speed just slightly. But look at the view of this place. Oh, look at the view. That is stunning. With the sun, yeah, this is stunning. Absolutely beautiful, breathtaking scenery today. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. I hope you guys are having a good week. For me, I've been watching a lot of the aviators on my in the basement, and I've just been watching that. So that's why I haven't been flying nearly as much as I used to. I wanted to watch the aviators. And since there's no DVD player in my room, I had to watch in the big screen in my family. So yeah, that's what I've been doing this past week. Hopefully, after I get done watching those, I'll get back to flying again. But it's nice not to always have to fly and just relax and do the simpler things. Yeah, nice and peaceful, relaxing day. Well, so it's good to be here back as well. So we do have some slides to work on, but and yes, you can look in the back. We got lots of cargo. Like I said, this Kodiak is a do-it-all plane. You can do so much with this. It's a do-it-all plane. You can take off from short strips. It carries tons of cargo, and it has good range too. Really good range, actually. Kodiak is the plane that can do it all. So by the way, guys, if you like what you see, I do have a Discord on the channel. Check out the Discord as well. My Discord's got all sorts of stuff in it to check out. Keep track of all my streams. I've included added posts for the Britling DC-3 Around the World flights that I'll be doing on Sundays. And I actually have the livery, the complete flight plan, and the book where I get all the information for the legs. So check out the book as well. Got some great photography. It's also where I put my images for each leg of the flight. That way you guys get to actually enjoy all the flights. And like I said Sunday, this week's flight, we're actually going to do a single leg this time. We're going to take off from Zagreb and head our way over to Athens through the Aegean Sea, through the Adriatic Sea. So it should be some really nice flying as well. It should be a very good time flying. So we should have a really good time flying that as well. So yeah, that's what's all going for my Discord and everything that's going on. So let's see who's playing along, shall we? So it doesn't look like anyone's flying along today on Southeast Asia server, but you can definitely tell the scenery in Norway is still stunning. That's why I missed going back to the series for so long. It wasn't just the fact my internet wasn't working, but I just missed being back in Norway. It's such a stunning scenery. The scenery in Norway is outstanding in this sim. Even if it isn't the greatest satellite data, it's still stunning. Yeah. Oh, you're doing some testing? No worries, Ewald. No worries. Hey, Red Dragon CMRU, good to see ya. You're just catching up on some add-on updates. Should be flying with you in a couple minutes. Well, great to see you, Red Dragon. It's great to see you, and yeah, it's good to be back streaming again after having some internet troubles over the past 2 weeks. It's glad to be streaming. It's fixed, and everything's running super smooth. Like before even all this happened, it's running really good. But yeah, great to see you, my friend. It's great to be, like I said, it's great to be here. And this is the last leg of the Norway trip. We're finally complete this journey after 7 weeks of it. So 7 streams of the Norway trip. I finally got it after a long time of not doing it. I think Northern Europe was great. Yeah, Northern Europe looks really good. I love visiting. Norway is stunning for obvious reasons. Finland's great. Finland's a really great place. It may not be the most hilly country, but Northern Europe, but Finland has so many lakes to do floatplane stuff with. And Sweden looks good too. And of course, Iceland looks fantastic as well. Iceland looks really beautiful. I probably need to do some bush flying in Iceland. And then the only place that doesn't look great is Greenland. But to be fair, satellite data in Greenland isn't really great. But I mean, in real life, it was fantastic. So yeah, that's what I thought. Hey, Ivan008, first time chat. Hello, my friend. How you doing? So we're doing a tour of Norway. We're doing this for the amazing folks at Firefly Air. We're doing this for the VA organization. If you click the link, it'll tell you how to join our organization, part of the Two-Tone Murphy community. Yes, great choice, Ivan. It's a great choice. The Kodiak is perfect for this type of flight. It's the perfect choice for traveling Norway. You have all the different small stall strips all around the area, which makes it perfect for a plane like this. Plenty of power, plenty of speed. It's the perfect plane for this. Along with the Twin Otter and the Caravan are probably great choices to travel Norway. So yeah, great to see you, Ivan. I hope you're doing good. So if you're here for the first time, guys, This is Fiber Strike 95. My specialty is compiling research, presented in slides, so I can teach you guys about and learn and help you guys learn about all the places we're flying. And that's what we're doing right here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn down the volume of the music. And I'll explain to you about Norway's culture. I'm gonna finish off that part. Norwegian literature. Norway's literature really grew during the 19th century, but Norwegian's literature goes all the way back to the Nordic days in the 9th and 10th century, with all sorts of poets like Bragi Bodesen and Eyvinder Skalspiller. However, when Christianity arrived in the year 1000, it brought Norway into contact with European medieval learning, hagiography, and history writing, and when it merged with the native oral traditions, this was flowered to an active period of production in the late 12th, 13th centuries. However, afterwards, during the 14th and 19th centuries, it was a dark age. Though Norwegian-born writers contributed to the common literature of Denmark and Norway. Then, with the advent of nationalism and struggle for independence, a new period of national literature emerged in a flood of nationalistic romanticism. The great four of Norwegian authors emerged: Henrik Ibsen, Bjornstjerne Bjornson, Alexander Kielland, and Jonas Lie. And they brought Norway into a key place in Western European literature. And modernist literature was introduced during the 1890s, and several more authors in the 30s did a lot of modernistic works. But they did all sorts of things like medieval poetry, realism, political awareness. They even did some comic book cultures and more. So Norway actually has a pretty diverse literature scene. So there's that. Then we get Norway's architecture. So Norway architecturally has a very rich tradition in wood building, and has evolved through different economic conditions, technological advances, demographic fluctuations, and more. Prior to the Viking Age, a lot of wooden structures developed in a sophisticated craft by elegant and effective construction of their famous longships, which helped them raid different villages and stuff, if you're aware of your Viking history. Then during the Middle Ages, with the ascent of Christianity, they introduced Romanesque cathedrals and churches as a result of a lot of influence from England. Then during the Middle Ages, farm culture remained strong, and as a result, with wood available, created some very unique styles that were made often by wood. So there's that. And then the 20th century, Norwegian architecture is in connection with Norwegian social policy, so it has its own style, mainly an Art Nouveau style in the 20th century. And there are some very famous architectures, but some of the most well-known architecture in Norway are the state churches that were built during this time. Over 1,000 of them were built during the Middle Ages. However, until the beginning of the 19th century, as many as 150 still existed, but many were destroyed by religious movements. And today, only 28 of the famous state churches that make Norway very unique religiously. There's also Gothic architecture and more. And then you have some Romanticism and historic architecture and more. So they basically have lots of different, it's kind of varied in Norway depending on its history and culture. First, here I talk about the local literature. Yes, I think it's really cool that it is, and that's a huge compliment, because I want to spend the time learning my streams. I spent lots of time working with local cultures. If you go to my Around the World flights, back in, if you go to that one, I'm going to talk about everything about a country, including language, including cuisine, language, history, government systems, how they all work, all that sort of stuff, and even some fun facts. Hey, Viper NB, good to see you, my friend. So good to see you, my friend. So now we're going to go to another topic, art. So yes, arts in Norway. So Norwegian art. part of the wider Nordic art of Scandinavia. That's for much of its history. It has since 1100 AD have been strongly influenced by wider trends in European art. And then after World War II, it was mainly US influence. Even though it's not really a major center for art production, Norway actually has been quite successful in keeping its art, in particular, due to its modern nature of the Reformation of Norway, and more, means Norway has tons of surviving medieval church paintings and fittings, making it quite unique compared to some of the other European countries. But where Norwegian art really came to its own is the 19th centuries, where Norwegian art really came to its own. Initially with landscape painting, later on with Impressionism and Realism paint styles. Edvard Munch is Norway's great artistic figures, and he's made all sorts of famous paintings and figures, including the one in the picture. Probably his most famous painting of all, The Scream, in 1893. And I'll give you a bit of background about this painting. It's one of the obviously it's one of the most famous arts and images of all of art, and it symbolizes the anxiety of the human condition. And apparently, the inspiration for this paint actually came in a diary of his, Nice 22, January 1892, in the city of Nice. And he said one evening when he was walking on a path, the sea on one side and the fjord below, he felt tired, ill, stopped, looked over the fjord, with the sun setting and the clouds turned blood red. I sensed a scream passing through nature. It seemed to me that I heard the scream, and he actually painted the picture, the clouds as actual blood, and the colors shrieked. This became known as the Scream, and he later described it as that as well. But it is a very famous painting. It's also been a target for a number of thefts and attempts, including ones in 1994 and 2004. And an auction for this, it was sold for nearly $120 million on May 2nd, 2012. So yes, an art that's that expensive. It's really gusty in Heathrow right now. Yes, it's been really gusty it's been kind of gusty in Europe. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about Norwegian art. I want to talk about the painting in particular, the Scream, one of the most famous paintings in the world. Let's see what else. And then we got Norwegian cinema. Norway is also known pretty well for its photography too. But now we're talking about the cinema of Norway. So this is Norway's cinema history and cinema in general. Its film industry is kind of notable around the area. The first domestically produced Norwegian film was actually a short about fishermen known as Fiskerlivets Far, The Dangers in a Fisherman's Life, dated all the way back to 1907, but the first full feature... Oh, hey! Ivan008 has now just followed. Good to see you. It's so cool to watch, though, especially the A380s. The A380s are massive. If you've never seen the Airbus A380, it's even bigger than a Boeing 747. Those things are actually enormous. Huge. So yeah, there's no question how big they are. They are massive. Alright, so let's get back to the cinema of Norway. Thank you, Ivan008 with the follow. Thank you for following the channel. Really appreciate it. And the first full feature of Norway was released in 1911, produced by Hoffman Nobel Road. It was his first full feature. And then the first feature-length sound film was released in 1931 by Tancred Ibsen, which is his picture, by the way. The movie was called Den Store Barnedapen, known as the Great Christening. Throughout the 1930s, Ibsen dominated the film industry of Norway, and along with fellow director Leif Sinding, was also very successful during the period. Then in the early 21st century, several Norwegian film directors went to Hollywood and did various independent films, and as of 2011, nearly 900 of these films have been produced in Norway, with a third of them produced in the last 15 years. But there are some pretty well-known films as well. There's also famous Norwegian actors as well. There's quite a few of them. including Liv Johan Oltmann, one of the most famous European actresses of all time. And of course, we got a few famous directors. There's quite a few really big major films as well. In fact, here's an interesting film in Norway. One of the most famous Norwegian films was Kon-Tiki, and the documentary was awarded the Academy Award for documentary feature in 1951, and it's the only feature film in Norwegian history to win an Academy Award. It's the only. But that was some interesting cinema history, at least. My setup's in the attics with roof windows, so I can watch them all the time. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool setup you got there. And finally, the last thing is, at least for this one, we have the music of Norway. So Norwegian music is the last thing as well for as of now. So apparently, music in Norway goes back to, like I said, the days of the Nordic religions. And a lot of Norway's music before 1840 was folk music. It is usually instrumental and vocal music are the two main categories of folk music in Norway. In instrumental music, it can be dance, but also there's also German instruments too, including a Norwegian fiddle. There's also a goat horn known as a foghorn. The Langelik, which is a zither, and a very famous trumpet instrument known as a lure. But then it also grew as a classical music thing in the 19th century. Classical music became a big deal in Norway. And there were some pretty well-known artists there from the 19th century, like Edvard Grieg, one of the most famous Romantic era composers worldwide. In post-World War II, there's been a lot of other Norwegian composers using all sorts of different styles. And there's quite a few major orchestras here in Norway. And of course, in recent years, pop music's been a big deal with many international popular artists like Aha, Sigrid, and Aurora. There's actually a jazz scene in Norway. Quite a few jazz artists. And of course, one of the most infamous things about Norwegian music, black metal. Norway's black metal is very well known in Norway. And there are a lot of Norwegian black metal bands all throughout it. And the reason I said infamous is because a lot of the Norwegian black metal scene, some members of it were involved in burning some of the churches down in Norway. But yeah, that is about Norway's culture, about its music. And we're currently flying over the Sognedal National Park that was established in 2002, occupies 1,693 square kilometers, with large part of the mountain range of Dovrefjell along with Sandefjord Mountains. So yeah, that's all the slides. So let's take a look outside again. So yeah, we're in the national park. Oh yeah, I see Red Dragon. He's flying the Trinidad. I don't have that plane, unfortunately, Red Dragon. Yeah, that is it. That is it for now. So that's all the scenery is nice. It is. Norway is absolutely beautiful. The scenery in Norway, I know the satellite data may not be the greatest, but the scenery is so good in Norway that it doesn't matter. Especially if you go to the coast, is where Norway absolutely shines, is when you get to the coast. It's fantastic. The scenery in Norway is top tier. It really is. yeah, so I want to ask you guys if you guys have any plans for the upcoming weekend, and I know it's coming up on Friday, so I'll be doing more flying throughout the week and getting that taken care of. Yeah, when they do go around, it's really loud. Oh yeah, it like yeah, the airliners can get really. Yeah, I do not blame you. When things get loud, they get really, really loud. Yeah. You got the Boeing TC for Christmas. Oh, that's awesome. Well, Viper and B, I got myself a new 29-inch, 165 gigahertz monitor, and a new gaming keyboard. And apparently, my dad also got a new tray to put my laptop in. He makes sure it's ventilated and all that. So. Yeah, a new gaming monitor and all that, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to have a 29-inch, and apparently he's going to put it right into the wall. So I have plenty of space to do... Wait, how many hertz? It is 165 hertz. Which should be more than enough to handle... and that's what's going to be my flight sim... My flight sim monitor is going to be that. It's going to be a big... Yeah, it's 165 hertz. My laptop can do 144 hertz on its display, so it should have no problems running it on the big gaming monitor. Yeah, I got a 32-inch monitor, but only 60 hertz. But yeah, the color's nice. Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed my my other monitor, which is really nice. It's great for the flights and streaming. Oh, I lied. It's just 30 inches. It's just 2 inches. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal if it's only just 30 inches, 32 versus 30. Not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Don't fret too much. Oh, I mean, oh, the Oman livery is nice. Ah, Flight Radar 24. Ah, cool. Actually, let me go check out Flight. Cookies. There. Oh, there it is. Oh, I see the plane. Whiskey, whiskey, Whiskey Yankee 101. Oman Air flew from Muscat. It flew over 7 hours to get there from Muscat in Oman. Yeah, I definitely see the livery. It's definitely a very, very cool livery as well. Very cool plane. 21 knot headwind. Yeah. At least the good news is a headwind and not a tailwind. Headwinds should make it easier, but it's still a pretty tricky landing. I've done some tricky landings like that in the sim. Oh, that's cool. Over the house. I guess you get used to it when you live near an airport, about the noise. I mean, if you're here for the first time, you'd probably be like, oh no, it's too noisy. But I guess over time, you probably get used to it as well. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and climb up to 9,000 feet. Oh, it's this. Hey, Boozy Sheep with a rate of 12. Boozy Sheep, how you been? Good to see you guys. Welcome, Boozy Sheep and Raiders. Great to see you, my friend. Joe Sosa with a follow. Great to see you guys. It's good to see you guys here. So we're currently doing we're currently ending the Norway tour today. So we have 2 lakes today. We're going through from Trondheim into Sognedal, and then from there to Sandefjord, and we're doing the rest of the journey. We're good to see you. Our Briner, good to see you. Tight backhand. My excellent plan neutral, good to see you. Great to see you guys here. And we have follows from more Cowbell Cody, Leo Sassel, and R. Reiner have all followed. Good to see you. I hope you had an amazing stream, Boozy Sheep. You guys had such an amazing stream. Good to see you guys. So guys, this is Viper Strike 95 Flight Sim, and it's great to see you guys here. I do streams every Wednesday and Sunday. Wednesday at 1700 Zulu, 1500 Zulu on Sundays. So it couldn't have been better. It couldn't have been better. Awesome. I'm on Southeast Asia, and our next airport is Echo November Bravo India. So let's go over the plan we had today. So we took off here from Trondheim. From Trondheim, we actually took off from Varnes Air Base, visit Trondheim, visit the famous Nidaros Cathedral, one of Norway's most famous buildings. Then we're traveling through the national parks, and make our way over to Hakkasan Airport. Before that, we'll be visiting the Ornes Stave Church. One of only 28 of those churches still remain in Norway. Then from here, after landing here, we'll fly over the rest of it and visit one of the most famous resort towns in the country, in Sandefjord, and finally make our final stop at Torp Airport, Echo November Tango Oscar. But yeah, that is going to be our journey today, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming along with the raid. It's been really appreciated. And I'm excited to be here and talk to you guys. It's always exciting. Hey, Infidel Fireman, good to see you. Let me give a few shout-outs. First to Boozy Sheep for the raid. I really appreciate it as well. Then, of course, my excellent friend, Planet Neutral. Awesome dude from my home state of Indiana. Amazing dude. And Infidel, and also Sky Command just came. The Sky Command. Dude, I mean, love Sky Command streams. He's such an awesome dude. And finally, for Infidel Fireman, Infidel Fireman showing up. Guys, thank you so much for coming to today's stream. I really appreciate it as well. Always. Now, if you guys are here for the first time, I've done, I usually do a lot of slideshows. I make these, for every stream I do, So we talked about a new topic earlier. Throughout my entire journey, we talked about everything about Norway, from cuisine to history to government systems, architecture, the cities, the airports. We talked about everything, and that way you guys can learn more about the world. That way you guys can learn all about it. And I'm also doing on Sundays an around the world trip in the Britling DC3, an absolute joy of a series. I've been planning this for several months with the book, the DC3 book, which you can find it on my Discord, which is the full flight plan. It's got the livery needed for it and more. So yeah, and that starts 1500s on Sundays with the DC3, and then Wednesday's going to be, after we get done with this, I'm going to be alternating this time between air flights, GA bush trips, and city tours. It'll be, for Wednesday, it'll be a variety mix, which I think will be good for the content of the stream. And hello, Gregor, good to see you. But yeah, that's going to be what I'm planning for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, and of course, since we are in beautiful Norway, the scenery in Norway is absolutely stunning. I think you guys can probably agree. Norway is one of the most stunning countries to visit in Europe in snow. It's the fjords, the mountains. It's just great. How long are you going? Oh, good question, actually. So yeah, about that. It's going to be 39 streams of the DC3 World Tour. On Sunday, we actually started Sunday from Geneva in Switzerland. We first had to flew to Avignon because in real life they couldn't go directly between Geneva to Zagreb, so they had to go through first a short flight into Avignon, and then from Avignon they went around the Alps into the mainland of Italy before heading back to the Adriatic Sea into Croatia, and then landed in the capital of Croatia in Zagreb. But basically, we're going to be going everywhere. The next leg will be from Zagreb to Athens, and we go straight through the Croatian coast, down to the Adriatic Sea, all the way to Athens, through Corfu, and more. So we have in the Isthmus of Portus as well, into the Parthenon of Athens. So it should be great. We're also going to be visiting other cities as well. We're going to be visiting Tel Aviv, Dubai. We're going to visit Karachi, Phuket. We're going to be visiting Sendai, Anchorage, San Francisco, Phoenix, New York City, Boston, and more. So we have tons of cities to visit as well. I mean, today I'm going to be around for 2 to 3 hours today. Yeah, how long am I going? Well, the journey's 329 nautical miles, so we're going to be going through, we're going to be around for 2.5 to 3 hours. But yeah, good question though, Boozy Sheep. Good question. It should be around 2 to 3 hours. Oh, do you group fly? Yes, 120% group fly. Absolutely. I don't have the flight. I don't have flow, unfortunately, so those commands do not work, unfortunately. I don't have flow. I need to get flow, so no. But here's the route, and here is the server, Boozy Sheep. I'm sorry, I don't have flow. I probably need to get it at some point, but yeah, no worries. No worries. I'll ask some questions. No worries. That's why it's a good question to ask. But yeah, you are welcome to do group flights. All welcome to do. In fact, I think it's actually encouraged to do group flights because I love interacting with people. I really do. No worries. Get some lunch. Get some good lunch and food. I had to have something before I stream. So we have Red Dragon's CYM in the Cody, which is an amazing plane for the trip. Which is awesome. So we should be getting down. Oh, yeah, we should be getting very close to one of the handcrafted PY landmarks. We are around 30 nautical miles out. Okay. Actually, light check. Yeah, this one. Urn Stave Church is our landmark. This is Urn Stave Church, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, by the way, if you guys didn't know. But this church goes all the way back to the 12th century. One of the stave churches there are made of wood. It's on the eastern side directly from the fjord, from the village of Solvorn. It is among the oldest stave churches in Norway, with parts of the labor construction dated all the way back to the latter half of the 11th century, which is the 1000s. This build is a long church basilica inspired by the medieval Christian churches with cylindrical columns and semicircular arches. And they also have the decoration of the capitals and columns of the church, and they embodied the visual evidence of the transformation of the Viking culture into Christianity. It's been owned by the Society for the Preservation of Norwegian Ancient Monuments since 1881. And basically, its Norwegian name is Fortidsmin Ordningen. And in 1979, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is pretty crazy. Which is pretty cool. I looked Southeast Asia, and my ping's like 2,000. Well, the reason we go Southeast Asia is because it's not nearly as busy as some of the other things. A lot of streamers go Southeast Asia because it's not nearly as busy or crowded. But the architecture of this place is beautiful. It's got the entire wooden church was built on basilica. It's got some really cool interiors with carvings and decorations that are very well preserved, including and they added a lot of elements to the interior, like a wooden canopy above the altar, a pulpit, and the altarpiece of this dates back to the 1699. It's even got lots of carvings, more. So it's a very cool church. We should, and we should get actually ascended pretty quickly, because we're actually getting pretty much near it. In the second. Yeah, we're gonna visit the Stave Church as well. Hey, Nazi Press E16 in the A320. Cool. But yeah, we're gonna pay a visit. Earlier on today, we visited the Nidaros Cathedral, which is an absolutely incredible Norwegian church. It's one of the most famous buildings in all of Norway. It's a Norwegian cultural heritage site that was built around 230 years to build that thing. Yes, 230 years. Yeah, I love history and stuff, so that's why doing these streams is one of my passions. I love historical stuff. I mean, talking about this historical stuff just makes me really, really excited about how I like to fly. For example, I usually do my slides on Google Slides. This one is around 119 slides, but the around the world journey slides, I haven't even completed all the legs yet. I completed everything up to the Japan leg, and I've done over 450 slides of information. And they go way more than that. They talk about individual countries. I talk about the places, the landmarks of each of the cities, and even some fun facts that you guys might not even know about those countries. For me, it's just a great way to learn more about the world. which I think is really good. And I think it's a breath of fresh air that someone from Flight Sim can actually show the world in a new light. You have a map of all the routes you've done? The map. Oh, good question. Actually, Viper MB, if you're on my Discord, I usually have it in my announcements sheet. It's in my announcements, and I usually post the legs and the flight plans for each of the streams. So it's got all of my routes that I've done so far. So if you want to do a particular route, it's also in the FS Hub page. This is where Firefly Air is at, which, by the way, if you guys have not known it, Firefly Air is the VA for the Two-Tone Working Community, which you guys don't know. I am part of the admin team and the resident researcher of the community. But it's actually in that achievement, Viper NB, it's the Norse Way achievement, and it has a full little nav map plan file from the Norse Way. So it lets you do all of the legs of the journey. So you can download it there as well. Yeah, and apparently they added a new journey that I might be interested in doing at some point. Yes, the flying to the Greek islands. They'll be taking off from Corfu and heading over to Athens. And we'll be visiting the French, many of the Greek islands like Santorini and that. Which is going to be that would be an absolutely awesome cruise flight to fly into Greece. And I visited Greece only once in my streams, which was about Mount Olympus, which is beautiful. Yeah, there's a lot of routes. I've done a lot of streams. I've been streaming since 2021, and and by the way, I also did all of Route 66, and I went the extra way for that one. I did all the Route 66 landmarks. I talked about all the towns, many of the towns and cities. Go into great detail. In fact, speaking of slideshows, I actually have a page full of them in my slideshows. And I actually had and I even post the notes for each of the series I have done. So, for example, I've done entire operations for the Orient Express. I've done Route 66. I've done the notes for the Philippine Islands in Japan. And I know the big one's going to be when I get done with the Around the World trip. I mean, I'm going to post all of the notes so you guys can look at them. Like, I have lots of information. I love working on notes and information because, like I said, it increases my knowledge. Go down a little further. We're going to go down a little further to 2,000 feet. We're actually not very far from our state church. Hey, Twisted Mexican, good to see you. Yo, good to see you, my friend. Twisted Mexican, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. We're finishing up the Norway tour. After this, we only have one leg to go. We're going to land here at Echo November Sierra Golf. So yeah, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well today. And the follow. Good to see you, Twisted Mexican. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. It's all good. Nice. Yeah, everything's doing well here today. It's in any conditions that are not Cat 2 is considered Cat or considered Cat 1. I think Cat 3. There's Cat 1, Cat 2, and Cat 3. I'm not into ILS approaches and all that. I may not be the best person in the world for that, but I think there's a third Cat 3, I believe. Yeah, there are certain airports that are Category 3, which is that's one of the three things. There's Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3. Some airports are Category 3. So. So let's see if we can find our church somewhere. Yeah, it's like that, but inverted. Let's see. Ah, there's our church. There's our state church. Yeah, we found our state church. Here it is. There she is. Yeah, I like that one first. So what you answered is the other way around. Yeah, there's category 1, 2, and 3. I guess I'm not really that known about that. There she is. Let me go ahead and probably have to pause for a second. There is our stave church right here. This is the Ernstave Church right over here. Yes, it is a POI landmark that just came from the Norwegian update, from the Norse update. This was one of the many. We've already visited another stave church earlier in the series. This was one of the bigger ones still remaining. You can definitely see they got, look at this, they got all the different gravestones, and they got the look of it. It looks pretty cool. Cool little stave church as well. Sorry for the complicated question. Hey, no worries. But at least I hope I answered it to the best of my abilities, though. I hope it did. So, that is the state church. So we're going to visit Sognedal. This municipality is located in the northern shore of the Sandefjord, one of the biggest fjords in all of Norway. The village of Hermanswork is the administrative center, and this area was well known in 1917 when a farmer plowed up the Edgia stone, a gravestone with a runic inscription important for the history of the Old Norse language. It used to be around during that time. And not far from here is the very well-known Sognedal Glacier, continental Europe's largest glacier still remaining. And several of its glacier arms can be found around the municipality. They're pretty cool stuff. And finally, our airport, another one of the Stol ports. This is Sognedal Airport. This regional airport serves the municipality. Featured a runway aligned 0624 that's around 3,870 feet. Many of the services are provided here by Widerøe. And in 2014 served 70,000 passengers, and it was opened back in July 1st, 1971. So yeah, that's a bit of our notes and information for this. But yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous. So let's see if the bot's working today, because I'm thinking about some predictions, obviously. Predict -95. Let's see. Yep, the bot works. Exclamation point predict negative number. I'm going to try and make that landing. We're going to go around the fjord for a bit. We're going to do some fjord flying in the fjord. I mean, this, like, the fjords in Norway are just stunning fjords. I love the fjords in Norway. They are unbelievable and well done. Just stunning. This sim, I mean, it's been almost 3 years since this thing came out, because we just hit 2023. But I mean, this sim is just so good. It's a game changer. When this thing came out, I can't believe this has been one of the best games I've ever played. It looks fantastic. Turn that around. We're gonna do some scenic fjord flying, because I know that a lot of people love the fjords, so that we get some pretty scenic flying. So yeah, great to have you guys here as always. So the runway we're going to land today is runway 24. We're gonna do a runway 24 landing. I think we have plenty enough runway to make this landing. Actually, I should probably climb, actually. Yeah, 3,000. Oh. Yeah, as you guys can definitely tell, this airport's in a really scenic location. That's amazing. Wow, up high, it's 45 knot headwind and 2,000 feet of Heathrow. Wow. Yeah, it's getting windy. I mean, this area's kind of windy. That's amazing. So ground speed for an A350 would probably be 90 knots. Yeah, 90 knots for an A350. Yeah, it is amazing. It's amazing how much aviation does. So yeah, we're about ready to land. We should be landing here shortly. There's the airport. Look at that. It's tucked right into the mountainside. It's... Go ahead. Autopilot, exit out, and we're going to go ahead and prepare to land. Use throttle. One stage of flaps. Second stage of flaps. going to go off laps. Okay, we're going to go down. And we're down. Not bad. It's a little firm, but I mean, it's the Kodiak. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to land in the sim, but hey, I mean, hey, a landing you can walk from is the best landing. I think you all probably agree. Is the best landing. All right. We'll just leave the thing rolling for a little bit. And we have Red Dragon for the landing in the PC-12. But welcome to Echo November Sierra Golf. An absolutely beautiful airport here in Norway. It's an absolutely stunning. Oh no! Medic! Medic! Oh no. We need a medic for Red Dragon. We're gonna need a medic. Medic! Well, yeah, we're going in a medic. You bend it, yeah! Yeah, you bend it. You did. Don't worry, it'll buff out. As that one Irish dude said, it'll buff out. So yeah, welcome to Sognedal Airport, and apparently according to FS Hub, we completed this leg, guys. So that means we only have one more leg to get done until the end of this trip. So yeah, we only have one more leg left, guys. I mean, so yeah, let's go ahead and get done this last leg. I want to get this done. So we're going to go ahead and do it. Guys, if you want to join in, I'm on Echo November Sierra Golf. So, and I'm on Southeast Asia server as well. And we're going to go around 9,000 feet again, but this time we're going to go in as well. I need to change the heading to 139 degrees. Okay. Yeah, 130, perfect. Yeah, that's perfect, guys. And we're gonna go take off at runway 24. So we're gonna head back to the runway. Oh, look, Red Dragon's gonna try this again, and this is gonna be interesting. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around today. I'm gonna wait till Red Dragon actually lands. It's probably not safe, just in case he bends it again. Oh, that you floated a little too much, and you bounced. Hey, at least it was not. At least you didn't bend it like last time. So at least that's good. At least you didn't bend it. The last thing we both want is to get into another accident. Yeah, this area is absolutely stunning as well. Go ahead. I'll show you what a full stall takeoff at this thing. Because this thing's stall performance is really good. And we still have 65% fuel. No. Oh. Dull. Dull. Yeah, this thing can be quite finicky when you try and turn it too fast up a speed. No. Let's see this thing's stall capability. Yeah, we're already. This thing's already off. Oh, this Kodiak's already off the ground. It's I told you, this Kodiak's a beast when it comes to bush flying. Just like reduce the power. Hey, Fornax, good to see you, Fornax. Yep, this is the final leg of the Norway trip. It took me a little long to get it done, but hey, I'm happy to finally get this leg done. Any mode, and we're gonna go ahead. Now, it needs to be 9,000 feet. Yeah, there is, yeah, big mountain in the way. You can actually go around this mountain. Around, climb up in the air. Oh yeah, and speaking about Sunday's trip, this is actually based off of a real-life around-the-world trip. It was done in 2017 by the folks at Britling, and Francisco Gulio, he's the one who did the project. He actually nearly did it for 3 years. It started back in 2013. After 3 years of rejections, it was accepted in 2017. And he took his DC-3, which, by the way, which was around 77 years old. Yes, the 77-year-old DC-3. It's still currently the oldest plane to ever go around the planet. By the way. And he took it everywhere, basically. You could ask for. So definitely check out those streams. It'll be at 1500 Zulu. You did Amsterdam to London Heathrow. From Schiphol to Heathrow, in only 32-minute flight time, but I can only do it in 49, so don't get it. 2 emergencies? Oh boy. Like I said, this Kodiak's a beast. It climbs, it does. Yeah, whoa, and one is the U.S. Navy Boeing 737. Basically, the U.S. Navy Boeing 737, that's called a P-8 Poseidon. That's what it is. Yeah, the U.S. Navy 737 is a P-8. It's a P-8 Poseidon. Is what's called in the U.S. Navy. Mainly used as a maritime patrol plane. Yep. Yep, we're finally at 9,000 feet. Yeah, this area is just stunning. Now we're headed back down to the mainland. So we're just gonna have a 19 feet flight. To our right, it is Neoroy, the Olden National Park, is in this area. Is to our right, just based off the map. Apparently, it's also C-48 Clipper. Oh yeah, it could also be a C-40 Clipper. Yeah, it could be the C-40 Clipper. But yeah, the C-40 Clipper basically is a stronger wing, It combines the fuselage of a 737-700 with the landing gear and strength wings of an 800. Plus, it has extra fuel tanks that can make it up to 5,000 nautical miles. Which is pretty crazy to think that they can make a 737 go 5,000 nautical miles. Oh, the Honda Jet has got a new VNAP system. That's right. The Honda Jet's a really good plane, and as someone who likes Hondas, like Honda cars, the Honda Jet definitely is a really cool little jet. I didn't expect Honda to be part of aviation. But it turns out this Honda Jet's actually a pretty older than you think. Because the Honda Jet's been around since it first flew back in 2003, and it was produced not until 2015 when this thing was first produced. But it's definitely a solid little light jet with the range and all that. Yeah, I really want to buy the Vision Jet, but you already have the Honda Jet, and you feel like it's too similar. Yeah, I can understand why you didn't want to get the Vision Jet. I mean, I'm kind of an odd fence. I mean, I would really like to have the Honda Jet at some point. I like to have the Vision and Honda Jet at some point, but, I mean, there's so many aircraft to pick from that I'm probably waiting. I'm just probably waiting for the right plane I want to get later on. The main part of aviation is the navigation, not breaking the rules. Yeah, that's definitely the thing. You don't want to break the rules. There's a reason why those regulations have to exist in the first place. To have those rules. Hey, saying 10,133. Good to see ya. I have both jets, Honda jets, slightly better than the Vision, but it really depends on what you prefer. Yeah, exactly. Each of these jets do serve a different purpose. The Vision jet is great. I mean, it's a nice small jet. there are not many places you can't take the Vision jets. Vision's great for smaller personal use in smaller strips. I treat the Vision jet more like a turboprop plane would, just a faster turboprop, like a TBM or a King Air, just because of the similar performance and speed, ceiling, and range. Whereas the Vision jet, I think, is more similar to a Citation and all that. Just with less range. That's how I view each of those jets. I don't have no time to fly this leg. No worries, Red Dragon. I understand. But it's great seeing you again, and thank you so much for flying along with me, Red Dragon. It's great to have you with me in the air and having a good time flying. Yeah, I don't have a really good point that is the speed and altitude. Yeah, I might still get it. Also, oh yeah, the aviation beta. Yeah, that would definitely improve the CJ4 and the longitude. All those ones are going to get improved a lot. Yeah, exactly. I am spot on with the compensation with the turboprop. Exactly. That's why I compared the Vision. That makes a lot of sense because they're similar performance. Do you want to rather have a jet, or do you want the turboprop? For me at least, I would probably say I take the turboprop actually. Not saying I don't like the Vision jet, but the turboprop is much more useful. You can clear a bit smaller fields. Plus, the turboprop is also much easier to kind of stop yourself. This main turboprop, like the TBM and the King Air, have reversers, which can definitely shorten that landing. So I take the turboprop. It's better for more versatile situations. Plus, turboprops have less maintenance than jets would in the real world. Yeah, I am excited. I don't blame you. I mean, it's good that those planes finally are getting some touch-ups that they just really need. They really need some touch-ups. Like, we have tons of great G8 planes in the sim, and the airliners are starting to be really good too. It's just, like I said, for the default business jets, those definitely need some upgrades. So we're currently 121 nautical miles away from our destination. Let's see some other stuff I want to look at. Okay, nothing for FS late. There, on our right is Hollingskarvet National Park. This is to our right. This is Hollingskarvet National Park. I covered this earlier on series. It's one of the many national parks within the central part of Norway, this part of Norway. It has some absolutely stunning scenery. now we're going to have a chance in the chat. I hope you guys have some major plans for the weekend. For me, I'm just going to relax for the weekend, do some virtual airline flights, and then probably just, I'm also going to probably watch the rest of the Aviators TV series I got. I bought 8 seasons of it for Christmas, so I probably want to finish watching that. Hey, Dougal McTavish, good to see you, Dougal. So, Dougal McTavish, this is the last leg of our Norway trip. That's right, we are about done with the Norway series. We're about done with the Norway series. We only have less than about 100 miles left to go. And Sand 10,133 has just fallen. Thank you so much. But yeah, we're doing really well, Dougal. We landed earlier today at Sognedal. And earlier today, we visited 2 handcrafted PY landmarks. We visited Nidaros Cathedral in downtown Trondheim. In downtown Trondheim, we visited that. And then before we ended up here, we also visited the Ernst Stave Church as well. So that's 2 PY landmarks. We're currently heading our way down to Sandefjord, one of the most famous resort towns in the country. And after that, we just have a brief landing into Sandefjord Airport. And that would be it. That would be the end of our adventure for today. So we have a pretty nice adventure. Got a nice rate earlier from Boozy Sheep. But yeah, today's stream has been going really well, just like Sunday's stream. It was going really well. There's a couple of people I recommend shouting out. There's a couple of people I recommend you guys should definitely check out. That I recommend you guys check out within my community. Of course, the two-tone... actually, no. Watch that. First, it is the Two-Tone Murphy. After all, I wouldn't be doing the Firefly Airhouse without him. So check out Two-Tone Murphy, a Twitch partner, that was the funniest Irishman you will ever meet. The absolute sweetheart of a flight simmer. We have the awesome Allison Johnson, one of my absolute closest people. She helped me get into them in the first place. And she does a lot of historical recreation flights. I love her content as well. I've been a big fan of her content since I first saw her. And she's also a Two-Tone Murphy affiliate. Let's see some other shout-outs as well. Obviously, Boozy Sheep rated me. So there's a shout-out for him. We got so many amazing people to recommend checking out. There's so many awesome ones still in the chat, too. I really recommend you guys visiting. But yeah, the Sandefjord landing was definitely very nice. The first landing today was very nice. It was like right on the side of a hill, right side of the mountain. Definitely some very good landings. So yeah, part of my future plans, guys. So here's what I've been planning for Wednesday's series for the next Wednesday. So it's gonna be one of 3 things: a bush trip, which I take a bush-capable plane, or I can take any GA, but mainly I'm planning on taking bush planes. So that means Cubs, Shock Ultra, the Vilga, Kit Fox and X Cubs, Wind Otters, Kodiaks, and Caravans. We'll be taken throughout various places in the world. Then the second kind of streams that's going to be on Wednesdays are going to be is going to be the airline flights. So we're going to be flying airliners, and we'll be flying through various locations, but mainly for our BA hubs, either in Dublin, Bristol, Lake Tahoe, Quito, and Rio. So it's going to be one of those hubs. And then the third part is going to be the city tours, which I will be bringing back after a pretty long hiatus. It's been a long time since I did a city tour. There are quite a few cities I've been thinking about. Most of the photogrammetry cities are in the United States, but there's a couple of cities I've been wanting to think about visiting in the US, Canada, or Europe. I was thinking about maybe for my first city back, I probably should do something simple to get me back into the groove of doing these city tours. So I was thinking probably do a city tour somewhere. There are quite a few cities. Portland, I was thinking about. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a city I know quite well. I've visited Cincinnati many times. Indianapolis. And Reno, Nevada. Those are probably places I'm going to be visiting as well. So there would be definitely some really cool city tour locations in the US. If it's Europe, probably Marseille, even though I'm not familiar with Europe nearly as much as I am with the United States. But there's like Marseille. There is... I did Berlin, so maybe Frankfurt gets a nod. Frankfurt gets a nod. I've already done Rome, so maybe Venice or Milan would be pretty cool. And of course, I know one of these days I'm doing a Vienna city tour. It will happen. And basically, for guys who are new, the city tours, I will take an ultralight, one of the small little ultralights like the Topper Solo, the Aerolite 103, and the Drifter. And I'll be exploring each of the different landmarks in the photogrammetry cities. I'll be exploring all their landmarks, and I'll give you the history of each iconic landmarks and buildings of each city. And of course, I'll make plenty of information slides for each of those, so you guys will have all the information and knowledge needed to know everything about the places we visit. So that is going to be the plan coming up for the next couple of stream predictions. But like I said, I'm planning on rotating each week. That way, because I know Sundays is going to be the DC3 Round the World trip. It's the day of the week that I have the most time to actually fly. I don't have to worry about getting someone else's stream, and it's the weekend, so I have plenty of time. Hey, good to see you, Kingsman 9965. Welcome from Liverpool. Good to see you, my friend. So yeah, we're about to end the Norway trip. It's been pretty eventful journey, but I mean, it was fantastic. The Norway journey was great. I mean, we started all the way back at Kristiansand. We traveled through Stavanger, Bergen. We went through Ålesund, Namsos, into Rosslandet, through Lofoten, Tromsø, and then we went, the farthest north we ever went to was Hammerfest, then we went back down to Bardufoss, Bodø, Bodøsund, then we went back to Trondheim, and then we're now We're now heading to Sognedal, and now we're heading back to Sandefjord. It's been 7 streams, but it is so good to be here today. To finally wrap up this journey, I'll let you guys know in the Discord what I'm going to do first, what kind of plans we're going to be doing. That's amazing. It is amazing. Yep, 7 weeks. And we finally got this done. You know, originally this was meant to be December 18th. This is where the stream was supposed to be at. It was December 18th before I had all the internet issues. So now it's finally in a good place. Now it's finally in a good place. So yeah, so that's our plan. So that should be pretty exciting as well. Yep, we are pretty close. Let's see how much closer we are. We are 73 nautical miles away. Well, pretty beautiful out here. This will be the last time in a couple weeks we'll be seeing Norwegian scenery. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to probably wait a bit longer till we Hey, do you have the Blackbird 3110? I do not have the 3110 Viper NB. I know, it's a great plane, but I don't have it, though. I really don't. But I know it's a great plane and all that, so... Let's check our fuel capacity. We're about 55%. So we have definitely enough fuel to get there. Yep. So we're getting pretty close. So I don't have the Blackbird 310. I got the other twin-engine Cessna that's very, very popular, the 414 from Flight Simware. Yeah, is the 414 good? Oh, the Cessna 411 good's really, really good. It's really good fight for MB. In fact, it's actually a whole $10 cheaper than the 310. It's also got constant updates. The Cessna 414 has like constant updates. Yeah, and it's a very deep plane with. It's got lots of nicks and crannies with this plane. It's very well done as well. So yeah, it's a much more forgiving plane to fly compared to the 310. It's a much more forgiving plane to fly. But yeah, I definitely really do like this Cessna 414. It's an all-around great plane. Yeah, apparently the 310's better, but I'm worried because I got it from Marketplace. Yeah, I mean, one is MSFS Marketplace. The other is Milviz does not do tons of updates. Whereas the Cessna 414, if you get it from their website, you get constant updates. So at least the plane's working at top form. Oh yeah, the 310R is really well detailed. It's well modeled and all that. I'm going to go ahead and lower the altitude to 5,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and start lowering the altitude 5,000. I'm going to go ahead and start this. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and start descending down from 5,000 feet to 5,000. But I'm pretty sure the 310 is like nearly perfect. It is a really good plane. Although, yeah, the 414's got way more potential, especially with how much Bison updates that plane. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna worry about potential, especially how much they update the plane. Like they update like multiple times a week, something like that usually. But the fact that they get constant updates is good because it means they fix things quickly. So yeah, we're getting down to 48 nautical miles. Actually, I can lower down to 4,000 if you want me to. Alright, so let's go ahead and I want to go ahead and talk about something from my slideshow. I haven't talked about that in a while, but here it is. So for the slideshow, we actually have Sandefjord. This city is kind of a really interesting city. It's the most populous municipality in Vestfold of Telemark. This municipality and city was established back in January 1st, 1838. It is known for its rich Viking history and a prosperous whaling industry, which made it the richest city in all of Norway. Today, this city has built up to be the third largest merchant fleet in the country, and is home to Europe's only museum dedicated to whaling. And it's home to the Gostad Mound, where they found the 9th century Gostad ship. Sandefjord has many different nicknames, including the Viking whaling capital of Norway or the undisputed summer city of Norway. It's also known as the bathing city due to its beaches and former resort spas, and it's still considered to be a major resort town due to the lots of visitors during the summer months. Also a transport hub, with not only home to one of Norway's largest airports, Torp, but also daily ferry connections to Sweden as well. Like I said, this city has been inhabited for thousands of years. So basically, the Gostad Mound, one of its famous landmarks, is this burial mound. Was first excavated in 1880 by Nicholas Sand. And the ship was around 23 meters long and 5.2 meters wide, 16 pairs of oars, and its top speed is estimated to be 12 knots. And it took 2 years of restoration work to restore this area. And it was dedicated in 1929, and more than 2,000 to 3,000 spectators showed up for the ceremony. But yeah, this place was definitely pretty cool for excavations. It also became a health resort between 1837 and 1939. Royalty and prime ministers throughout Europe visited the town for the spas, and it gained its reputation as a health and pleasure center. And of course, it's got a long whaling history, especially in the modern times. And for 50 years in the 1800s, Sandefjord is the world center for whaling, which basically is they take the whales. Which basically whaling is the hunting of whales for their products. And you can find all the history about whaling and stuff in the Whaling Museum, known as Hvalfang Museet. You can find it there, along with a replica of the ship known as the Viking ship. Yeah, this place is really cool. It's got some really cool monuments and history. Of course, it's a very popular, especially in the summertime. But yeah, definitely a cool little place. Ooh, the Queen of Skies over my house. Oh, the 747. Yeah, 747 is the Queen. Still is the Queen. Yep, 3,500 feet. So now I'm back down to 3,500. Yeah, I'm going to miss visiting Norway on stream. It's definitely going to be a little sad to see us leave the beautiful city of beautiful country of Norway. It's been a fantastic trip. So that is our... So yeah, my favorite thing about this journey, my favorite thing I really enjoyed the most was absolutely all the fjords I see throughout the west coast. It was just unbelievably nice. It was just beautiful. Love all the fjords. They're my favorites. The thing I least liked was when I get further north, especially during the wintertime, there is not much sunlight in the wintertime. So it was not... So that's kind of how I view. So yeah, we're almost done with this journey. So yeah, I'm descending for further 2,000 feet. So we're now getting closer to the ground. So we're just continuing to lower our elevation. And finally, for the last slideshow of the journey, I'll be posting the slideshow really shortly after stream. I'll be posting the slides. So let's go over... I'll be posting the final slide. So here is the final slide of this Norway trip, and that is Sandefjord Airport. This airport is located 4 nautical miles away from Sandefjord. One of the largest airports in Norway, features a 9,806-foot runway. It serves as a base for Widerøe, for serving both domestic and short international flights, but it also has flights from Ryanair, Wizz Air, Norwegian Air Shuttle, and KLM Cityhopper. As of 2021, it is the second largest airport in eastern Norway. And this thing was actually built with NATO funding in the 1950s as one of several bases used by the U.S. Air Force. However, by then, after the military was disinterested, civilian flights commenced in 1958 as well. This airport includes destinations like Amsterdam, Alicante, Gran Canaria, Gdansk, Krakow, London, Warsaw, Vienna, Zagreb, Copenhagen, Trondheim, and more. So that is about the final airport, guys. So that's it, guys. So that is our final slide for today. We're just 17 nautical miles out from our final stop. So we can get ahead and do it as well. So, and what a way to end the Norway journey. I mean, I'm happy to finally get this series over with, since I've been waiting since this was supposed to be ended December 18th. So, happy to get it all done now. But guys, if you're here for the first time, I do have a Discord as well. Check out the Discord. And all my VODs are stored in the other platform, YouTube. Check them out there. You're more than welcome to check out either one of them for all my streams and content. There's the sunset, what it looks like from here. It's absolutely beautiful sunset. So I see the resort town off in the distance. There's our resort town all the way over there. So there's our resort town. Hey, Duke McTavish. You're not hearing music at all. Oh. Oh. You hear music now, Dougal. I guess it was a low volume. The music was at a low volume when it ended. Do you hear it now, Dougal? So, guys, one more thing for the final landing in the series. Exclamation point, predict, -95. I got prediction, so we have one final pick for the journey, and that is, so there it is, the famous resort town, Sandefjord, one of the most famous resort towns in the country. Oh, you're not hearing the Dougal still? That's weird. So exclamation point predict negative number, and this would be the last leg of the journey here in Norway. So we're about done. So there it is. There's Torp Airport to our left. Taking off the autopilot and the flight director, so we can go ahead and get the final landing of our journey today. I mean, it's going to be sad to miss Norway. It has been such an absolutely amazing. It's been such an amazing adventure in Norway. So today, who are we going to check out? I think I know who we're going to check out today once we get landed. I think there's a certain guy I know of that we should definitely check out. Go. Woo. -188. Nice. Wow, that's it. Now to find a good parking spot. Here. So that is it, everyone. We're done with today's journey. 7 streams of Flying in Norway have now been done. Park. Right. Not the cleanest parking job, but there you go. We're going to go ahead and put the propeller all the way back at feather. We're going to feather the propeller. Positioning lever low idle. And we're going to turn everything else. Beacon strobe, nav lights off. Alternator generator off. Off. Auxiliary avionics. And the generator. It's done. It's over. Friends all, good to see you, my friend. It's been a while since I've last seen you, friend all. Yep, it's goodbye for now in Norway, guys. So that is it, everyone. We finally got it. This was the long overdue finale for this that is it, guys. I can't believe we actually got the Norse Way achievement done for FS Hub and Firefly Air. It has been too long since I've done this. So, thank you guys so much for coming along onto this journey today. Big raid for Boozy Sheep. And what a great finale for our journey today. So, guys, thank you so much. And speaking of raids, we're going to check out Capat 9. We're going to raid Capat. A good friend of mine in the community, he's raided me before. So definitely check out his channel. So guys, for the plans for the next two streams, on Sunday we have the Britlink DC3 journey again. Zagreb to Athens, everyone. So pack your bags and get ready for the DC3 trip to Athens. We'll learn all about all things Greek. Do you need to log into Firefly Air? Yes. Yes, friends all. But basically, we're going to be back in the DC3, flying through the Ajax Sea into Greece. And Wednesday, it would be between the City Tours, Airliner, or Bush Flight. So I'll let you guys know in the Discord which one I pick. So guys, thank you so much for the excellent stream. Again, for the raids, chats. Thank you guys so much. And I hope to see you guys soon on Sunday. So take care, everyone, and have a great rest of your Wednesday. Bye, everyone.